everyone, Morgan here. So today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 things that you can find at your local hardware store that is prepping, survival, whatever related. Now, I'm talking about local hardware stores like Ace or any other type of local places like that. Now, Ace is technically a chain, but it's more, I think it offers a lot different selections than Lowe's and Home Depot, I think. Now, Lowe's and Home Depot, you know, those big brands, they do carry some of the stuff that I mentioned, absolutely, but some of this stuff I've only really been able to find like kind of a really good supply at local hardware stores. And, you know, if the big box stores do sell it, usually they're sold out very quickly. So I usually tend to just not look there at all for a lot of this stuff. Now, of course, hardware stores, you can get a lot of the basic hardware stuff like tarps and nails and screws and all those things. And, you know, carpenter pencils. These are actually extremely useful, especially for navigation purposes. I love these carpenter pencils. They are fantastic. Now, of course, this one is from Home Depot, but you can get them at pretty much any hardware store. Of course, you know, there's just so many things at a hardware store. I really highly recommend you go to your local hardware store and just really look around. You might be surprised. Sometimes people go to a hardware store for a very specific purpose, you know, and then they don't really look around to see what else might be available to them for whatever reason. I've actually seen paracord at a lot of places, you know, and I never thought that hardware stores would sell paracord. Now, you do have to pay very close attention that the paracord is actually real paracord. Some of the paracord says only it'll hold 100 pounds or something like that. It's not real paracord, but it's good cordage still, but maybe not, you know, real paracord, okay? So anyway, here are my top 10. I'm going to have a blog post on my website in the next couple weeks that goes into a much deeper, extensive list of things that you can find at the hardware store. But here's my top 10. First of all, a Silcock key. That's right, Silcock key. Hardly anybody ever knows about this, and I always talk about it, but still, people are always like, a Silcock key? What's that? Silcock key. Just go get one. It gives you access to water on the outside of buildings. Just go get one. Canning supplies. All those canning supplies back there, I got from a hardware store, from the local hardware store. Those was the only place I could find that. I did find a couple from Walmart, but after that, the only places I can find it now were hardware stores. And I'm talking about pressure canners, pots, cans, lids, the preservation, everything, books I found at hardware stores. Next one is going to be fire anything. Anything to make a fire, fire starters, lighters, matches, anything to make a fire. You can find at a hardware store so many options as well. You may even be able to talk to them and say, hey, do you have any wood shavings that I can have just in a bag? A lot of times they'll cut their own wood and they'll just have like random wood shavings on the ground. You can go collect it yourself. They can collect it for you, but that's a good fire starter right there. Mix that in with some wax and oil. Bam! You got some good fire starter. The next one's going to be knives. Hardware stores actually have a really good selection of knives. You know, even the big box stores, Home Depot and Lowe's, they have a pretty good supply. But, you know, hardware stores in general have a pretty good supply of really good knives and for really affordable. You know, they may have their own brand name or, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter the brand, to be quite honest. Any of their knives are pretty good. You know, just if you're just looking for like a regular, you know, knife that you can just use every day and kind of abuse a little bit, those are great knives to go for. All right, the next one is going to be kitchen supplies. Really anything that you need for your kitchen, can openers, manual tools, anything like that, you can find at a hardware store. They have a huge selection of kitchen supplies, so definitely head there, and really affordable prices as well. The next one, 5-gallon buckets. I know, this is a shocker. I felt I had to mention this one because 5-gallon buckets, you can never have too many 5-gallon buckets. There's just so many uses for them. Every time I go to the hardware store, I'm always like, ooh, look at these 5-gallon buckets. Let's get one or two. And my husband's like, for what? And I'm like, I don't know, for whatever I feel like. There's like so many uses for a 5-gallon bucket. It's crazy not to have just like a few extra on hand. The next one's gonna be gardening supplies. Again, even at the big box stores, there are gardening supplies, but I've actually found at the local hardware store that they have not only, it's not necessarily better, but it's cheaper dirt. Like if you want to get just a couple bags of dirt, it's actually pretty cheap and affordable. And of course they have all sorts of gardening supplies and tools and everything to help you with irrigation, or, you know, just everything having to do with your garden. So really good place. And also a lot of bird seed. I've seen a lot of bird seed at mine. So yeah, really good source for gardening supplies. The next one's going to be cleaning supplies. All sorts of cleaning supplies, and not only have I found bleach and a whole bunch of other cleaning supplies, I have found rubbing alcohol. In fact, the local hardware store is the only place I have been able to find a consistent supply of rubbing alcohol. So you know, definitely head there, and, you know, of course they have hand sanitizer and everything that you would need, any type of cleaning supply. The only thing I haven't seen is Lysol wipes, but I just make my own with the rubbing alcohol that I buy from them. So, you know, just get some hand towels from the hardware store plus some rubbing alcohol, and you're in business for reusable or, you know, disposable if you want the paper towels for, you know, Lysol wipes. The next one's going to be toilet paper, and really paper towels as well, towels, any type of bath stuff you can usually find there, but a lot of bath stuff, it's not like a huge supply, but of course, you know, I think the majority of stuff that they're going to have is like, you know, plumbing supplies and things like that, but they definitely have, you know, toilet paper. I've always seen a really good supply of toilet paper, paper towels, and just regular towels, hand towels, the square towels, bath towels, any type of towels. And the last one's going to be animal traps. Now, why would you care about animal traps? You care about them for two reasons. One, to control pests in and around your home, even just the snap traps, live traps. You want to be able to have options in order to control any type of pests around your home. And then the second reason is going to be in case of a survival situation, right? You may want to trap certain animals in order to eat them. That's a really good way to catch small game, is in live traps, or you know, some people will use the snap traps to catch rats or whatever. Just make sure that the animals that you are catching are actually okay to eat. They're not going to carry any crazy diseases or, you know, anything like that. So, you know, always pay very close attention to that. It doesn't matter where you live, rural or urban area, animals can always carry diseases. So always be very cautious and careful about that, and just know what to look for when it comes to what type of diseases they could potentially have and that you want to watch out for. Again, there's just so many things you can find at your local hardware store. I have always felt that they've been in a better supply than the big box stores. So I would highly encourage you to go to your local hardware store and really take a look around and see, you know, what you can find. You know, just peruse one day. I mean, you would be really surprised. I found children's toys at my local hardware store. There's like a little section for child toys. It's kind of like a Tractor Supply. There's those children's toys there. So yeah, really happy with what I've been able to find at the local hardware store. Again, I'm gonna have a blog post. Subscribe to my newsletter down at my website in the description box at roguepreparedness.com to be notified when that new blog post is coming up. I have a lot of stuff coming up on my website and the newsletter that you will not want to miss. So definitely subscribe. It's free. I only send one email every single week. That's it. I'll never spam you, and I'll never sell your information. I understand how important privacy is to everyone, not just preppers. Thank you all so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what else we can get from the hardware store that is useful for prepping and just every day. Put your ideas down below in the comment section. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.